Thank you very much, sir.
प्लीज बी सीटेड. हो गया. आप बैठिए प्लीज. आई एम अलाउइंग ऑनरेबल फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर प्लीज आप बैठिए प्लीज. बोला है. बैठिए प्लीज. आप शांति से माननीय वित्त मंत्री का जवाब सुनिएगा. ठीक.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. The government is introducing Sabka Bima, Sabki Raksha Amendment of Insurance Laws Bill 2025 for amending 3 acts related to insurance sector, namely Insurance Act 1938, Life Insurance Corporation Act 1956, and Insurance Regulation and Development Authority Act 1999. About 34 honorable members have spoken on this bill, and I thank each one of them. Many of them have gone into details of the bill and spoken about what this bill means to them. I will address their concerns, sir. What I would start off with is, sir, Insurance Act in this country, sir, since it was introduced in 1938, have seen 12 times amendments. From 39, just the next year after it was introduced, since then you have seen 12 times, and I'm saying 2015, there was no amendment even in 2014. So, the amendments have had various character, and they are very reflective of the progress that the country is making. And to reflect the requirements, insurance requirement, the act has been since amended. What I would like to highlight from among those various amendments, sir, in 1950 itself, 1950, 50 में, एजेंट्स के ऊपर जितने भी हमारे माननीय सदस्यगण बात किए, the first ever change in agents commission was made even in 1950. I'm just trying to say that according to the requirement of the society, important acts such as the insurance get amended and reflect the requirement of the period. What was the 1950 amendment, sir? I'm purposely highlighting. So what if it happened in 50, that many number of years ago? But I'm saying every government has to respond. In 1950, it will be surprising for us to know agents' commission were reduced. हमें लगता है कि हर बार वो इधर मोदी जी का गवर्नमेंट आ गए हैं, जैसे आप बहुत सारे लोग विदाउट इंफॉर्मेशन बोल देते हैं कि बड़े कॉरपोरेशंस के लिए 50 में एजेंट्स का कमीशन करने वाले मोदी जी की सरकार नहीं जी. समय के अनुसार कुछ अमेंडमेंट्स होते आते हैं. सेकेंड सर, इन 1999 allowing the entry of private players in the insurance sector and FDI limit set at 26% happened in 1999. So, the actual progress in every such act which has a bearing on our citizens and their lives do get amended. If this is the Insurance Act, sir, LIC Act had 8 amendments since 1957. And there were very many important features which were brought into it. One particular thing which I like to highlight, 1981, explicit power to the central government to make rules regarding service conditions of all classes of LIC employees and agents. Power was given to central government. And I'm sure there were some members, I would like to go to the records of the House to say, no, how can central government take away all the powers? हुआ LIC Act में. Sir, so I just want to highlight that amendments do happen, and they happen with the larger interests in our mind. But what happened since 2014? I briefly mentioned in the morning, insurance ombudsman rules were framed in 2017 because the government strongly felt a robust grievance redressal mechanism should be in place for the insurance sector so that people who take policies will have a place to go and comply. IRDAI also was established as a regulator earlier, and extensive framework for protection of policyholders was also made, and that mandated insurers to provide crucial information to policyholders at the time of policy issuance itself and setting stricter timelines for claim settlement. This also happened after 2014, after Prime Minister Modi coming to Delhi. Several flagship insurance schemes have also been launched since 2014. I appreciate the genuine concern which many honorable members had. Common people should have insurance coverage. Will these companies which come bring that kind of a facility? First of all, when competition comes into the market, rate automatically comes down. People see which one is better, which is good for me, which one brings lower rate. Monopoly doesn't give us that advantage, and therefore more the competition, better the rates. And with that said, sir, even then, government has, in anticipation of covering and bringing all Indian citizens into insurance coverage, introduced PM Jeevan Jyoti Yojana, Bima Yojana that is, PM Suraksha Bima Yojana, Jan Arogya Yojana, Krishi Bima Yojana. So, literally for bringing everybody into the insurance world, insurance coverage world. Schemes have been launched to a large extent backed by the government's funding, and also making sure the larger the insurance pool, the lesser will be the premium. That's been the guiding principle. So together these schemes have also provided the safety net to protect common citizens and farmers from any risk to their lives, health or livelihood. Another priority which our government has given, sir, is to strengthen the public sector insurance companies. Again, a point on which several members spoke, what will happen to our public sector insurance companies. I'd like to say, today listing of LIC, GIC reinsurance and New India Assurance has actually it's a step in the right direction. I heard Honorable Member N.K. Premchandran talk with great concern about what will happen to public sector companies. Here's the fact behind it. Since 2014, we are doing a lot of things to improve the ecosystem for insurance. Capital, very important point, sir. Capital to the tune of 17,450 crores have been infused into 3 public sector general insurance companies to strengthen their capital base. That was done by our government. As a result of these and other such measures, sir, LIC, GIC Reinsurance and Agricultural Insurance Company, which is AICIL, reported their highest ever profits last year. That's the kind of focused attention we are giving and infusing capital where they need so that they can compete better in the market. And they've also, and other companies, related such companies have also started turning profitable. But to attract global capital and technical know-how, the FDI limit had to be changed. FDI limit for insurance companies was increased from 26%, that 26% which I told you about earlier, which was brought in 1999 itself. So 26% 99 was increased to 49% in 2015. And from 49% to 74% in 2021. So foreign reinsurers were permitted to set up branches in India, thereby increasing the local reinsurance capacity while retaining their reinsurance premiums within the country. Repeatedly, I've heard several members saying, what will happen to the premiums paid by Indian citizens? Will that be taken away by the foreign companies? No. Even earlier, when foreign reinsurers were permitted to set up branch in this country, the money which has been collected as reinsurance premiums in this country are retained in this country. They are not allowed to take it out. Similarly, the FDI limit for insurance intermediaries was raised to 100% in 2019 to enable them to provide better advisory service to our citizens. So the presence and the kind of robust insurance sector environment that we've built up has resulted in positive outcomes. That is why even at the time of introduction, I did say this. Several members asked me questions about what was the number did you say? I'll repeat it for everybody's benefit. Number of insurers in 2014-15 were 53. But in 24-25, we have 74. Insurance penetration has increased close to 3.8%, whereas it was only 3.3. Insurance density, that is the average insurance premium paid per person in a year, was $55 in 2014-15. In 24-25, after 10 full years, it is $97. So total insurance premium in lakh crores was 4.15 lakh crore in 2014-15, whereas in 24-25, it's gone up to 11.93 lakh crores. So it is showing improvement, and therefore the reflective policy making. Assets under management, again in lakh of crores, is 24.20 lakh crores in 2014-15, whereas in 24-25, that's gone up to 74.43 lakh crores asset under management. Sir, FDI limits for insurance company, now 24-25, before this bill, is at 74%. Insurance intermediaries is already at 100%. So you may recall, and through you I'd like to tell the members in the House, 56th GST Council meeting, which was held in September this year, unanimously agreed to remove GST on individual life and health insurance premium. There is now a 0% GST rate, which was earlier 18%. And in this very House, at least a year ago, you may recall, Honorable Speaker, there was so much of a debate saying, what's the GST Council doing? Why can't you bring it down? And I'm grateful to the GST
नहीं, ये
Council.
बहुत मांग थी सदन की और आपने इसकी मांग को माना, डिमांड थी।
धन्यवाद सर।
सदन की भावनाओं का आपने आदर किया।
हाँ जी, थैंक यू। हाँ सर।
हाँ, आपको भी धन्यवाद। नहीं, सबको सदन को धन्यवाद दिया मैंने, अकेले वित्त मंत्री जी को नहीं दिया, पूरे सदन को धन्यवाद दिया।
हाँ जी। So this nil GST on individual health and life insurance is a significant tax relief, sir, that directly reduces the cost of premiums of policy holders, and the GST Council through its instruments are watching how it's playing out. There are, of course, comments from some people through the social media saying maybe the companies are increasing the premium, not giving the benefit, but even that is closely monitored by the GST Council and its Secretariat. So with the guidance of Honorable Prime Minister, sir, we have launched nationwide campaign, and this is an important fact that I'd like to inform the members about. Aapki Punji, Aapka Adhikar, which is your money, your right, to facilitate the settlement of unclaimed financial assets, including insurance claims, bank deposits, dividends, shares, mutual fund, and pension to the legitimate claimants. This drive was launched in October, sir, from 5th October. Almost 500 districts have had this camp. And this camp had participation of public representatives, district administrations, and also officials from the financial institutions. The insurance regulator.
माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी, अपनी पूंजी अपना अधिकार जो आपने चलाया था कंपनी ने, उसमें बीमा भी थी, जमा पुराना पैसा भी था, उसके बारे में थोड़ा मेंशन कर देना।
हाँ सर,
ताकि माननीय संसद सदस्य अपने अपने इलाके में इस कार्यक्रम को करेंगे।
श्योर सर। सर, सो दिस कैंपेन सर 5 अक्टूबर से चालू, 500 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स को हमने कवर कर दिया है, और उसमें एज आई सेड पब्लिक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स, डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड ऑफिशियल्स फ्रॉम द बैंकिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैव ऑल पार्टिसिपेटेड। इंश्योरेंस रेगुलेटर एक बीमा भरोसा for unclaimed insurance proceeds is also happening simultaneously. Unclaimed insurance policy को उनके legitimate claimants को, whoever is the inheritor, it has been given. First 2 months में ही, during this campaign, we were able to give unclaimed financial assets, not just insurance, shares, mutual fund, insurance, and deposits, and so on, amounting to 2,000 crores to our common citizens. It went to the rightful owners, and this campaign continues. We'll be doing again one more round after completing all the districts, one round, so that more and more people who are remaining without information, either whether they have something to claim or they have something to claim, they don't know how to go about it. So this campaign has actually brought people together to claim their legitimate money. So I would request sir, जैसे आपने बताया, आपके द्वारा सभी मेंबर्स को मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहती हूँ कि अपने अपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में इस विषय को प्रचलित करें, और जिसके द्वारा unclaimed deposits or shares or whatever is lying should be claimed by the rightful owners. Please, I appeal to all members of parliament to, in your region, in your state, spread this news. We want to give the money back to the rightful owners. Sir, highlights of this bill about which the charcha has happened. When I highlight these points, many members' questions will be answered, but I'll just flag them and explain what they are. First of all, sir, we need to spread insurance awareness among people so that they can not only avail themselves of insurance to cover their risks, but also receive the legitimate dues. Just I said what is happening in the campaign. So the policyholders education and protection fund, which is being created out of the penalties levied by IRDAI, will be used for this purpose. That will be definitely going only for building the awareness. Second, sir, better regulatory oversight of insurance companies' affairs will help ensure the orderly conduct of insurance business. This bill aims to bring that transparency. I will give you 1 or 2 examples to show what prevails now is not as transparent as we would like it to be, whereas what comes through this bill is to bring in greater transparency. Third, sir, we are introducing a one-time registration for insurance intermediaries that would ensure uninterrupted service to our citizens, promote ease of doing business for service providers, reduces regulatory delays, and also administrative compliance burden for intermediaries. Fourth point, sir, our country needs further capital infusion into the insurance sector, sir. This will ensure that we benefit both from better technology, world-class risk assessment models, and the best insurance products available anywhere in the world. The proposed removal of the upper cap on FDI in the insurance sector is a significant enabler in this process, despite many questions which were raised. But the more that opening up happens, it brings in better technology, better insurance products which we are not able to conceive of. So thereby we create a conducive business environment. Another point which will address the concern which Honorable Member N.K. Premchandran mentioned, we are standardizing the regulation making process by introducing standard operating procedure for regulation making and mandatory public consultation on all regulations by the Insurance Regulatory Authority to ensure that the process is consultative and transparent. That issue that you may fast track the route or whatever, or you take up the power for urgent or risk mitigating regulation and you're giving it all away to IRDAI is not well founded at all. We are standardizing the process. The regulation making and mandatory public consultations will bring in that necessary transparency. It is not really emboldening or giving more powers to the regulator. So as per the current provision, this is the point that I wanted to use as explaining where we are better off with this proposed bill. As per the current provisions, sir, intermediary licenses are directly cancelled when found violative of law. We are introducing suspension of intermediary license instead of direct cancellation, because that will provide time for compliance and allow the intermediary an opportunity to strategize, streamline operations, bring in greater transparency, that is during the period of suspension, so that he is given time to correct himself so that citizens can be better served. That is what is being brought in now. Provision for merger of a non-insurance company with an insurance company would promote a simplified corporate structure. We have had quite a lot of instances where companies are, the holding company is doing similar thing, the subsidiary is doing similar thing, they are not able to give better synergy. So this provision would bring to greater synthesize the parent and the holding company with their subsidiary and both doing similar comparable assignments. Even earlier, sir, one of the points which I wanted to say, but now I will say it, the legal requirement to seek prior approval of the regulator for transfer of share capital has been raised from 1% to 5%. What does this aim at? It aims to reduce compliance burden for insurers and for regulators, thereby promoting ease of doing business. Even earlier, for 1% prior 1% share transfer, they had to rush to the regulator. At least now it will be only when it is 5%, and therefore the ease of doing business comes in. Sir, reducing net owned fund requirement for foreign reinsurance branches from 5,000 crore to 1,000 crore would invite more reinsurers to come into this country for creating greater risk management, risk capacities that they would have, and would create a level playing field for the foreign reinsurance companies in domestic tariff area as opposed to that which prevails in the foreign IFSC, because we want Indian citizens to get the same benefits as much as those who operate in the IFSC would be giving. So the central government may, by notification, apply with modifications or exempt the insurance intermediaries operating in any special economic zone, inclusive of IFSCA, from the provisions of the Insurance Act. This is only with particular, the exemption will be offered only in certain conditions, and this will only be aimed at getting more investments. But that is only after the application are scrutinized and the objective is kept intact. We are providing further, sir, autonomy to LIC. This is one of the important things which many of the members were talking about, but this point will address it. LIC will have greater autonomy. We are providing autonomy to LIC to open zonal offices and aligning compliance for its foreign offices with the laws and regulations which prevail in the respective jurisdictions. Now, even if they want to open one zonal office in an area where business is thriving, they will have to come to the government, seek the permission, the files move up and down, and then the permission is given, and then they go open, by which time months pass. Whereas if it is given to their own board, decision can be a lot more professionalized. That's one of the things which we are doing by the amendment we are bringing for the LIC Act. We are also empowering the regulator. This is very important because many members thought we are empowering the regulator. It's so empowered. It is empowered for a very good thing. That is disgorging wrongful gains. When most of the time wrongful gains happen and somebody has gained it, you don't have the statutory power to disgorge that and give it to whoever have been made to suffer. Now this one will give that power to the regulator to disgorge wrongful gains from insurers and from intermediaries. So when insurance companies have made wrongful profit, that will be disgorged by the regulator. And this is one of the very insurance policyholder friendly steps. We are also proposing, sir, to rationalize penalties to be imposed by the regulator. The maximum limit of penalty on insurers for default in complying with or acting in contravention of the Insurance Act or the regulator IRDA Act has been proposed to increase from 1 crore to 10 crores. Now insurance intermediaries have also been included under this provision. This would act as a deterrent and encourage legal and regulatory compliance. Earlier, the fine of 1 crore, which we are now proposing to increase to 10 crore, was only applicable to the insurance companies and not for the intermediaries. Now we are bringing both on board, and both will be at 10 crore penalty so that there will be some deterrent from compliance oversights, as a result of which many of the insurance holders, policy holders suffer. And the last point, sir, which is the main feature, all these are the main features of this act, and the last of the main feature is an entity, for instance, engaged in the business of insurance will have to categorically use the name insurance, assurance, insurance company in their names. You cannot operate anymore by not having the word insurance or assurance in your name. So it will directly relate to the common people saying, oh, this is a recognized insurance company. Without mentioning the word insurance, a lot of questions are raised as to, are they genuinely in the business of insurance? Who are they? Are they doing it? So on. So similarly, sir, an insurance intermediary will have to necessarily indicate the nature of its business and service to identify itself with the kind of services that it extends. So we hope that this will avoid mis-selling of policies and wrong sale with features which are not aligned with what is proposed. So with these proposed changes, the insurance law will ensure accessibility and affordability of insurance to our citizens, meeting with the goal and objective, insurance for all. But there are, besides this, 1 or 2 points which I will explain to the honorable members who have raised these questions. Sir, should I name the members who are not here who raised the issues, or just say the points because it will benefit everybody else? Sir, government, as I said, has taken a lot of steps.
जनरल विषय बोल दे सबका एक साथ मिलके.
So, as I said,
एक सदस्य का नाम अगर आपने लग जाए तो हर मंत्री को फिर एक सदस्य का नाम लेके ही जवाब देना पड़ेगा. तो इस सिस्टम को खत्म कर दो, नहीं तो आप किसी का जवाब नहीं देना चाहे तो फिर क्या करेंगे? फिर कहूँगा मैं इसका भी जवाब दो.
Okay, sir.
जनरल के
So I've explained how the government has taken a lot of steps towards giving general coverage for the common people. उसमें एक विषय मैं ज़रूर कहना चाह रही हूँ सर. On affordable insurance schemes like the Jeevan Jyoti, Suraksha Bima Yojana, We have seen 81 crore enrollments, and we have settled the claims to the beneficiaries to the tune of 23,440 crores. So those which are aimed at the common poor citizens of India are getting their monies back when unfortunate incidents happen and the policy has to be invoked. Sir, Ayushman Bharat Jan Arogya Yojana has benefited 12 crore families. The scheme provides free medical care up to 5 lakh per family per year to the poor and underprivileged. So 12 crore families. For this, further, this scheme has also been opened for senior citizens, and accordingly more than 80 lakh senior citizens have been enrolled under the scheme. And 56,401 crore has been settled to the beneficiaries under this senior citizen scheme. So money has gone into the hands of people with whom they've lived, meaning senior citizens have lived.
सीनियर सिटीजन का आशीर्वाद मिलेगा सर, बहुत अच्छा काम किया है। सीनियर सिटीजन का उम्र वाला आशीर्वाद मिलेगा।
Sir, just to give a matter of fact data, sir, currently there are 74 insurance companies in the country, and out of these, 40 companies have FDI as below. I'll give the numbers because Honorable Member Lavu Sri Krishna had this question to ask me about the number of companies. I just want to highlight the fact. Percentage of FDI and the number of insurance companies. In 10 of them, less than 26% FDI is there. I said total of 74. In 10 of them, less than 26%. In 23 of them, between 26 to 49%. In 3 of them, 49 to 74%. And at 74%, there are 4 of them who have FDI at 74%, sir. So I want to highlight the fact, the enhancing, this is another point which Honorable Member Prem Chandran spoke and a few others have also spoken. So if there is need for growing protection through insurance in this country, we need to have insurance more accessible. Enhancing FDI limit through Section 3AA of the bill to 100% will enable global insurance to inject substantial capital directly without waiting for domestic partner to invest capital in parallel. Because we have heard a lot of these FDI people who want to come into this country searching for a partner, joint venture partner. It's a mammoth effort. Now by doing this, we are able to bring them to the country directly, of course with all the Indian laws which are passed by this parliament for LIC or insurance will apply to them. They are not coming to, be without any regulation on them. There was this question, why are we rushing this bill? This has been in discussion for quite some time, sir. And this bill, of course, was put up to the members through the portal even on the 14th. We are discussing the provisions of the bill extensively now for almost 4 hours. So, on the transparency point, I just want to highlight, all life and health insurance companies are required to calculate and publish their claims settlement ratios annually. It is a compulsion on them. This data is also collated and published by the insurance regulator in its annual report. So there is no way that the details will remain secretive. It is for us to use and look at their websites. Every quarter they keep updating it, particularly health and life insurance. Sir, I had given the data of different Bima Yojana, but there was a particular question about even does it cover the people of Uttar Pradesh? I want to answer to a member who was here. Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana with a life insurance premium of 436 rupees annually has 3.21 crore enrollments only in Uttar Pradesh. Similarly, Suraksha Bima Yojana, which is an accident insurance at 20 rupees per annum premium, 20 rupees, has 8.19 crore enrollments only in Uttar Pradesh. Ayushman Bharat Health Insurance, which is that 5 lakh health insurance, has 7.43 crore people, beneficiaries, 67 lakhs plus claims have already been settled only in Uttar Pradesh. 67 lakhs plus claims have been settled Uttar Pradesh का और उधर 7.43 crore beneficiaries है आयुष्मान भारत का. PM फसल बीमा योजना उत्तर प्रदेश में 15 lakh plus farmers are covered under फसल बीमा योजना. हाँ, यूपी का अध्यक्ष है, so he can take it further. मैं डेटा दे रही हूँ सर. सर, Sir, under the Fasal Bima Yojana, quite a few questions were raised. You know, it's not this, it's not that, it's not affecting. I just want to give the two options which are available for clarity's sake. Traditional Fasal Bima Yojana, where the insurance company bears the full claims and also retains all the premium. वो एक option है. दूसरा option है, it's called cup and cap model. There are two models under this particular thing. 80 to 110 or 60, 130. Under these, the liability on the insurance company is capped at a fixed percentage, either 110% or 130%. If the claims go beyond this limit, state government has to bear the additional liability. On the reverse, if the claims fall well below the certain percentage, 80 to 60, 80% or 60%, the difference will be between this threshold and actual claim ratio has to be borne and returned by the insurance companies. The states can make a choice. At the time of floating the tenders, they can choose whether they want to be in this or they want to be in that. उदाहरण के लिए, क्योंकि we have Honorable Member Supriya Sule ji, who normally comes with quite a lot of details when she asks a question. Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh, हमारा अध्यक्ष जी हैं इधर, both operate Fasal Bima Yojana on the 80 to 110 cup and cap model. So that will be for the companies, insurance companies, to bear with the difference. So the concern about data protection, very legitimate concern, some members did raise about it. So I want to just say this bill mandates the regulator or its authorized agencies to collect the KYC data of the policyholders. The collection of the data will be in full compliance with the provisions of the DPDP Act, that is the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. The provisions contained in the bill will help in safeguarding the sensitive KYC information of the policyholder. Any sharing of information will be with the expressed consent of the policyholder, otherwise it's not possible. And the aim is to create insurance data repositories which will help insurance companies to underwrite the policies better and to prevent insurance frauds. So these will be similar to the credit information companies, the much maligned, which is getting corrected also, the CIBIL in banking sector. But this will be run more efficiently. So without the explicit permission, no data is being collected, sir. Sir, I think I've addressed most of the concerns of N.K. Premachandran ji. Sir, again a concern about insurance agents. There are 14 lakh insurance agents in this country, and their livelihood needs to be protected. I want to highlight, sir, that the government values the service of all the insurance agents. We value it, we respect them. So we will do only that which is going to help them. It also recognizes, meaning we also recognize the role in taking insurance products to the last mile. And that is why I want to thank Honorable Prime Minister in giving me a suggestion which we implemented in right earnest, and that is with the view to bring this initiative of LIC called Bima Sakhi, one of the most appreciated scheme which has benefited women. Honorable Prime Minister launched it in December 2024, where close to 2 lakh women have been trained and deployed as agents who can increase insurance cover and take insurance products to every household, and especially to cover women who are often left out of protection, of the protection net that the insurance schemes can offer. So on the insurance agents, we are with you, we appreciate your concern, we value them as well. Sir, government also recognizes the role of LIC. So we've heard quite a lot of members speak, and rightly, that LIC's role in development is huge. We need to protect it. Of course we want to protect it. We want to increase its reach. The government recognizes the role of the LIC, and it is through this bill that we are trying to empower LIC. That's why I explained, zonal offices, you don't need to wait for the government to give you permission. Go ahead. We are giving a lot of professional liberty to LIC, and this will actually mean LIC will have greater autonomy and in its operations and their capabilities. Clause 71, I think I've already explained. There was this question, sir, which is a very important point. I want to highlight this. Honorable member expressed certain misgivings about proposed amendments. Let me clarify, sir. This is an existing section. There is no attempt to dilute the said provision, clause 71, section 116. In fact, on the contrary, the proposed amendment brings in greater transparency. Therefore, the apprehensions of the member are unfounded. And I'd like to draw the attention of the honorable member, through you, sir, to section 116 of the current act, where there is no requirement for the central government to place notifications granting any such an exemption before the Parliament. As the law prevails today, there is no need for me to come and lay any details to the Parliament under section 116. But what this proposed amendment is actually doing is it is inserting a subsection 2 to section 116, where any such order passed by the central government shall be laid before each house of the Parliament. That's the insertion we are making. This is a measure to bring more transparency, and clearly the honorable member would certainly appreciate, and I hope that he will appreciate this, that the proposed amendment for making the executive more accountable to the legislator. That's what we are doing now by introducing that section. Sir, I come to my last 2 points. The draft amendment, states were not consulted, was one of the members' observation. Draft amendments were shared with all states and with all union territories in a letter dated 26/11/2024, 1 year ago. We have given that for their comments and suggestions. States were consulted. Extensive stakeholder consultations other than the states were also conducted with insurers, regulators, industry bodies, public, through the website of Department of Financial Services. So it will not be correct to say that we have not held stakeholder consultations. So I've mentioned about the money which was infused to make the companies now become profitable, and it has given them a lot of market reach. There was this concern, public sector is weakening private companies are coming to capture the market. No, sir. We have constantly supported our own companies. I told about the 17,500 crores, 17,450 crores, which have been infused into these banks, into these institutions, that today they're all turning around and making profits, sir. So with these, I hope I've addressed all the concerns, questions raised by the honorable members, and I appeal to you that we pass this bill.